You know, running for me, I actually despise it, and that's actually kind of why I do it. I am really learning to enjoy it, but I can't say I love it. Not yet. And I got a whole lot going on in my life, and the majority of that makes me extremely happy. So running to me is, at least right now, it's just a compromise for all the other things that I got going on in my life that makes me happy.
Yeah, point your right direction.
Welcome back to the channel, guys. Okay, so I'm headed to the gym right now. It's basically I'm going to be there at 7 p.m. This is probably one of the latest workouts I've had in a minute that I'm filming. It's just myself and my tripod today, so no Subi, no Nico, no girlfriend, no one, just me filming. But I really wanted to kind of take you guys along with my upper body workout. You know, I am, at the end of the day, a fitness creator, a fitness and lifestyle creator, and I think I really started out in the gym. But I am, as a caveat, I am dealing with some wrist pain, but I'm gonna do what I can do. So this upper body workout, it's a 5-day split, so it's an upper, lower, and then the 5th day is a arm day, and it's a weak point day as well. So today is day 1 of the week. Makes sense. This is my first workout of the week. So it's going to be an upper day. This is usually my longest. So this workout is definitely my longest workout out of the 5. Really wanted to show you what type of intensity you guys need to be approaching your workouts in, to kind of grow and to put on size and muscle and strength. You really need to train hard. You know, if you kind of go to the gym and train hard, you have really good form, and then you kind of just, you know, add on to that with your nutrition. You're eating enough protein, you're eating enough calories, you're getting your good macros in. You're going to see sizable differences in the next 3 months going into 2025. So let's just drive to the gym, and I'm gonna see you guys in a bit. I'll walk you through it, okay? The gym looks extremely busy today, so this should be fun. See you guys inside. dead tired, but we're building Acreto, so tired is not an excuse.
No excuses today.
Fuck no. We got Nico behind the camera.
You need to fix your sleep schedule, bro. I've been waking up at 4.
For real. Fuck man. I'm like still groggy. I feel like I just woke up literally. We're heading to a print shop right now. See if we can get some designs printed. Probably not gonna happen today because he needs to set everything up and everything. But I definitely want to pick his brain. So that's the map today. Unit 5. Unit 5, but this man's blocking me. You see that car, Nico? That fucking Elantra. Am I tripping? Can I fit? Oh, I can't fit. I'm an idiot. Oh. Ooh. Oh, man. Okay, so... let's go. Welcome to my shop. No, I'm kidding. Oh, this is you.
Yeah, like I mean, I went to school for illustrations.
Oh,
so
yeah.
I drew that.
You're Chinese?
Yeah, I'm Chinese. Yeah.
He's not though. Just beat him up.
Point you right direction because I know they can print bigger sizes.
Bigger sizes?
Yeah, because like I know exactly the aesthetic that you want to go for, and then like I mean you're the biggest like you have the biggest like followers that I know of, like everyone that I print for. Selling t-shirts is sometimes so random.
Yeah.
It's like I mean sometimes you could have like the smallest like followers, but then they sell the most product.
Right.
Share it to your followers.
Yeah.
Pick wherever colorway that they say is the most popular. So that would, because like I mean right now you have 5 different colorways.
Samples or no?
Yeah, so like it means like how should we do this?
So I think my first question that
Yeah.
because I know you don't have like certain sizes.
Yeah.
So are you able to show me where it would be on the shirt? Like how big
Yeah, so this is like the size of film that I can print.
I see.
Yeah. And then like I mean the one, I guess like you want your like the print size kind of like similar to your friend.
Yeah.
So like it'll be like a 15 inches, like I would say like maximum is like a 14 inches like print size, and then like then you able to get something like that. Because like I mean right now the problem is like when the width, this is only 13 by 19, but then the width of when it's like 13, it limited the size, so it looks smaller.
Yeah.
But then when you can just expand it like a little bit like further out, is if you can find a shop that like do the DTG sample.
Still tossing them every now and then. Like
Yeah.
I've been just like doing this basically every day.
Yeah.
Just like working out, filming, just boxing now too. I'm just trying to build a Acreto now too. So just like
Yeah. No, I mean these. Yeah.
Sounds
cool.
good, boss.
You have a lot.
Appreciate it, man.
Good luck. All the best before your Christmas drop.
hopefully we'll get there.
Man,
I'll try
you
my
put in
best.
the work, it will happen.
Yeah.
It's guaranteed, you know. So.
Yeah. I appreciate it, man.
Yeah.
All right, man. So we didn't print any shirts, but we got knowledge. We got a lot of knowledge today, so that's what's important.
Life is never easy.
Now I gotta like pivot and go to like Markham and like, you know. Damn, man. Yeah, it shows you how important networking is though. Like fucking, if I didn't have this, like if I didn't meet this guy or like come in to speak to him, I would have missed out on so much like free game and like information. But he kind of opened my eyes a little on how I should approach Acreto, because I think I was coming into building this brand very much so from like a artistic POV, but with business there's like a whole business side of it, and I wasn't really thinking about that, but he made some good points.
Yeah.
So
What are the perks of being an influencer, and what are the disadvantages?
well, the perks, I mean, the perks, I feel like you can like DM a lot of people, like businesses, and kind of get shit for free.
Yeah.
So that's kind of like to my advantage. You get a lot of like free shit. You get to build connections. I feel like on some real shit too on like Instagram, when people see that you have a certain amount of followers,
Yeah.
that in itself is a little more That's like authority right there.
Yeah.
It's automatically like they see you in a different light, for good or for worse, right? So it depends on how you spin it. But the negatives work, bro.
Yeah, you gotta keep being consistent at the content.
I'm always out fucking making content, trying to figure out what I need to do for content. Always trying to expand different like streams of revenue. Yeah, it's a lot of work, man. That's the main perk, and I don't get to see the people I love too often.
Let's not lose no time, sir. 8:45 cutoff. You're wasting time already. Look at you. You spilling everything. Let's go.
One more time. Good. Take it off. Take some water.
What's the verdict today?
It's good today, man. He's been practicing it.
A little bit, especially in the washes.
When you look at yourself.
I'm brushing my teeth like for 45 minutes. No, literally, I'm brushing my teeth. All right, guys, back in the office now. If you can't hear it in my voice, I am a little sick. I'm coming down with a cold, I think. But last week I put up like a Q&A box on my Instagram just to give you guys an opportunity to ask me any questions you had. And I promised you guys that I'd respond on YouTube, so that's exactly what I'm gonna do right now. The first question that I got is gear I use for filming. So what kind of cameras do I use? Lenses, what I use? So I'm going to cover all that right now. Okay, so I can't show you the camera because it's on a tripod and I'm filming with it, but I'm using the Sony a7 IV. It's a great camera. It's a little heavy, but it's a great camera. Because this is my first Sony camera. If I were to do it again, I don't think I would get a Sony a7 IV, but I'd get the a7C II. It just has like AI autofocus. It's lighter, so it's just easier to use on a gimbal as well. But honestly, the a7 IV, because I do have it, it's been a tremendous camera. It has dual SD slots, so it's like perfect, especially if you do like client work and then you also shoot for yourself. You can kind of separate it like that. In terms of the lens, I shoot with a Tamron 28 to 75 millimeter lens. This is my go-to. Anytime I do like talking head videos, I'm on a 28 millimeter. Anytime I'm filming like more cinematic fitness content, I'm on maybe at a 50 to 75 millimeter around there. So it's extremely versatile. I am debating on getting even a wider lens for vlogs so I can kind of walk around with it and kind of like hold it like, or kind of hold it like this, you know, and toss it the camera. But we'll see about that. In terms of the mic, so I have two different mics that I use frequently. The first one is the DJI wireless mic. It's Gen 1. It comes with two transmitters. It's a very, very good mic. I use it when I want to film workouts and kind of want to like document more of a raw style workout, or if I'm doing like interviews, things like that for client work. It's extremely perfect. Day-to-day use, I use the Sony ECM B10. Very good as well. It's a digital mic, right? So you kind of just plug it on top of your Sony camera and it's all ready to go. You can literally shoot it on auto. I shoot it on manual. Auto works just as great as well. I use one ND filter, which I will link. And everything I just mentioned, I'll link on my description, and I have a link in bio on my Instagram as well, just so you can kind of support the boy if you really want to. Okay, the second question is, so Just Cruise It on Instagram is asking me, I like behind the scene videos. Like, how do you structure your days with filming? So I actually spoke about this, I think, in one of my other YouTube videos. But generally speaking, because I work out so frequently, especially now with like kind of combining boxing. So I think it's twofold. Working out 5 days a week, right? So I'm in the gym, like pumping weight, pumping iron, whatever you want to call it. I have like a dedicated day where I'm kind of just in the gym, either hitting like a very light arm day or just very light upper body day. And I have that day designated to filming. It's because like I really prioritize like working out. I really prioritize just my health and fitness generally, that I can't be bringing the camera or being filmed, you know, every single session. That could change if I were to ever get like a full-time videographer who can kind of follow me around and I can kind of just ignore, you know, the camera. For the most part, people who are filming me, they don't really understand the angles I need. They don't really understand, you know, how to work the camera. So I really got to be cognizant of like how they're shooting. I got to kind of give pointers, and I kind of need to juggle that with my workout. And I find that during a real workout, that'd be way too much. It's a little different when I shoot with like Sub, because Subi, he knows, like we both have Sony cameras. He's a content creator as well, so it kind of just makes my life easier. He's also getting a lot better in shooting too, so there's that. But that's kind of how I structure my days. I don't really necessarily, I guess now that I've been doing it so long, I don't really come in with a plan anymore. But that's all dependent on whether or not I have like a brand deal or like a campaign that I need to film, right? Generally, like my day-to-day posts, I kind of just film my workouts. I film a bunch of exercises that I want to get captured, and that's it. And then I'll bring it back to, you know, where I am right now in front of the computer and kind of chop it up and make it into an extremely cinematic, high-quality content. Excuse me, I had to burp. Now that could obviously be a little different with like campaigns. Like recently, I just filmed a Browns campaign. It was really hyper focused on the Hokas. Like with that, I kind of already had a script in mind, and I've done it so much too, right? This is like very on brand with me. It's very on brand with what I used to do with ASRV as well. I didn't really need to storyboard because that whole, like the whole thing was already up here, and I already knew exactly what angles I needed, what exercises I wanted to do, what I wanted to highlight. But for more complex things, actually, I recently just did a collaboration with a restaurant in Yorkville, in Toronto. So if you know what Yorkville is, you know. But that, for example, I had to storyboard the entire thing because it's so new to me, right? I'm not used to filming like restaurant content at all, right? I'm not really used to doing that. I'm more so known for fitness and maybe even now fits, right? And fashion and whatnot. So it really depends on, I guess, what I'm shooting for. But I hope that helps. Third question I got is, how did I become an ASRV athlete? Tell us about your journey. So just in case you don't know, I'm no longer with ASRV because it's Acreto 2025. But essentially, I think it was about like June last year. So June 2023 when I officially signed on with ASRV. And honestly speaking, I did not see it coming. I was just kind of just making content, going about my day. I was pretty sure I was in the gym. But I remember during that point in time, I was extremely stressed because my content was going down in terms of engagement, views, and everything. All my followers were like, I was losing followers. If you create content, you know the drill. Like you've been there, like what it can do or what social media can do to you, like mentally, right? But yeah, I was at the gym, just I think it was like I was doing like a leg day or whatever, and then I got a message request. And usually when I get message requests, it's either like an extremely creepy message or it's a potential brand deal. So I opened it and then it was ASRV and I'm like, oh, what the hell? This has to be fake. So I clicked on it and I was reading it. I'm like, wait a minute, like this has like they're verified. And I guess the way the director of marketing at that time was speaking to me, he's very like laid back, he's very chill. Shout out to you, he's very chill. So it's not like a business email where he's like, hello, Billy. Pleasure to see you, exceeding your content. It was like very chill, very like bro to bro type of, conversation, you know what I mean? So I was like, oh, what the heck? So then I clicked on the profile on my Instagram, went into like the real ASRV profile. So at that point, I'm like, what the heck? So that's how it kind of started. But obviously, I think there are moments before that, which I kind of got under the radar. And that's just really creating on brand type of content with ASRV. Like I'll be completely honest with you, I didn't really come into this content game thinking I would get signed or sponsored by ASRV. Like that was never in my peripheral, but I really like their content. I like their message. I like the way they were, putting their content out and what it resembled. And I really identified with that type of content. So that's the type of content I wanted to create. So I guess because our identities, if you will, they kind of matched and they were so alike, right? It just kind of made sense. It made perfect sense to kind of, be a part of their team and kind of go from there. So that's kind of how I got with ASRV. But I think my message to any potential content creators, you shouldn't necessarily be creating content to get signed by Gymshark or Young LA or ASRV or whatever, right? I think at the end of the day, it's a game of longevity. So you need to be creating content that really resonates with you and the type of content that you like to make, because that's what is going to enable you to do this for a very, very long time. That's consistency, right? Or if you hate doing something, you hate creating a specific type of content, how long can you do this for? So just some thoughts to think about as well. Question 4 is, how do I pick B-roll to make your editing more cinematic? Honestly, bro, I don't know. It's a little weird for me because every time I approach an edit, it's like a blank canvas to me. And I don't really think about the technicalities of what goes here, what goes where. I just want to make sure when I'm creating a piece of content, on short form, even on YouTube, that there's a type of flow. There's a type of rhythm and flow to it, right? It needs to make sense. Not only from a story perspective, but I guess from just watching it, it needs to look good. It needs to look easy on the eyes, if that makes sense, right? If you're gonna do a curl on one angle and you're coming up with a curl, right? And you're doing another angle, that angle should be you coming down, right? If that makes sense. So that's the type of flow and that's the type of that's the type of thing that I kind of look out for when I'm creating content. But I think what really helps for filming, if you want to really create cinematic content, is to think about, especially for fitness, because in fitness and working out, you're doing multiple sets, right? Let's just say you're doing 3 sets of bicep curls and you're doing two sets of warm up before that, right? That's a total of 5 sets. Assuming you're filming all 5 sets, right? You can do if you have a structure as to how you film, it just makes your life so much easier, right? So you can do a far shot to establish the scene, right? You can do a medium shot, and then you can do a close up, which is a detail shot to get the face grimacing to express pain or express, that you're working hard and you're really pumping the iron or some shit like that. You know what I mean? Or, get a detail shot of your bicep or track the dumbbell. You know what I mean? That's kind of how I approach all my shots. I do far, medium, close, depending on, how many sets else I need to do. I do it from a different side or a different angle. There's a lot of things you can do too in terms of B-roll, right? For fitness, you can get picking up the weight. All those things kind of come naturally. I don't really plan it when I go to the gym. I answered in question 1 or 2, I think. I kind of just go to the gym. I'm oh yeah, I think this looks sick. So I just kind of film it. I don't really go into the gym documenting every time I don't film like every time I, put a dumbbell on a bar, like every time I pick up a dumbbell. Like I don't always film that. I just film it when it kind of comes to mind. And I'm like, oh yeah, I think this is gonna look good for the story. And lastly, what question I got is, how did I get to where I am in life? Honestly, bro, I don't think I'm that far. Like I don't know. I guess like when you kind of look back to see where you come from, I guess yeah, you're right. I think I did come quite a way. From being a kid, watching YouTube videos from a kid, not really knowing what he wanted to do in life, feeling lost, right? The feeling of being lost, helpless, that's not a good feeling to have as a kid growing up. But to kind of, push through, even though you don't know where you're kind of pushing towards through, if that makes sense. Kind of just pushing through life and not knowing exactly where you may end up at. I kind of got to this place by, I don't know, I feel like a lot of people, when they feel lost, they don't really know what to do. They kind of just give up. I think like you feeling that way is obviously, like I get it because I've been there. When you feel lost, you have no sense of direction, you have no mentors. It's like you don't know what to do, you don't know how to start. So you kind of just stop and you give up. Like you need to go through life experimenting. You need to go through life having all these trials and errors in order to figure out who you really are, kind of figure out who you want to be. Had I given up in general, right, I don't think I would have been able to learn who I truly am. I think a lot of kids these days, when they're 18, they're going to university. I feel like, at least for me, when I was going into university when I was 18 years old, I felt like the pressure was like just so much, like it was highly, like I was under so much pressure because I didn't know what I wanted to do when I was 18, but I felt like the pressure, I guess, my parents put on me, it was like I was supposed to have my life figured out at 18 because that's when you're choosing your degree to go into university. And that's essentially what most kids are doing now these days, right? They're graduating high school, they're going to university, and then whatever degree they're picking, that's usually kind of what they end up doing for, a good amount of their time on this world, or for their career. And I had no idea what I wanted to do, but I still did something. I still tried to figure it out, right? I didn't necessarily just kind of say, oh, I don't know what I'm doing, so I'm not gonna go to school, or I'm just gonna figure it out. And I think a lot of people get trapped into, oh, I'm gonna just figure it out. But it's like, what exactly are you doing to kind of go and figure it out? Right? Like if you're not going to go to school, you're not going to, actively try to figure it out, then you're essentially doing nothing. And I can't justify being lost and doing nothing, right? If you're lost, you should actually try to find that light at the end of the tunnel. And that's kind of how I got here, right? I just kind of like, I'd be lying to you if I said, I've always wanted to create content, because that's absolutely not true. But it's kind of growing up around content, I think, being exposed to different arts. Like when I was a kid, I used to make I always dabbled in Photoshop. I was never good at it, but I got good at, designing and graphic designs. I always made like anime music videos, and I always put it on YouTube no matter how shit it was. But that's kind of what I like to do. Did I think that I would be creating content with those skills? Absolutely not. But I think it's because I kind of like, as a kid, I kind of just played around, as a university, I played around, kind of figured out I like fitness too, right? So I kind of just ended up blending everything together, blending all these different things that I was, that made me happy into one. And I think creating content has been so much of a joy. I mean, definitely sometimes mentally fatiguing, but what isn't, but has been definitely a joyous journey. And I guess what I'm just trying to say is like, you really just need to try. You really just need to kind of go out there and get your feet wet. You really just need to try different things and figure out who you are. Realistically, you're not supposed to have everything figured out at 18 years old. Heck, like even at like 25 or whatever, right? It's okay. Like, I feel like I don't even know if I have everything figured out. I just feel very strongly about creating content, putting out different types of content out there on YouTube now, especially on long form, is just like my calling. And this is what I want to do right now, and in 10 years, this may change. And I think that's absolutely fine. I think dreams can change, and I think goals can change too. But right now, I know this is what's making me happy. So I'm going to do it. But life is just a journey, and you kind of got to dabble on it and just, figure shit out. You know what I mean? Okay. And I think that's it. And I will get some rest now because your boy is sick. Peace.